And uh, it was a case where there was the critical stage, they were going to turn off the life support system. And I pleaded with the staff not to. And they said, okay, it's all over really, but we'll do that. And they got a French surgeon out of bed. It was early hours of the morning. And it was so urgent. Carly was in intensive care. They didn't have time to move her to the operating theatre. And it was done in intensive care in a separate room they used for burn cases normally, but fortunately there was no burn case in. And I wasn't allowed to stay for the actual operation. But it was very moving because all the Spanish nurses got their rosaries out and were praying. Mm. And then I said the Lord's Prayer, and they all gathered round me and read it in English with me. And then I was told I had to go and wait outside in intensive care. And then after a few hours, the French surgeon, she came out, her green overalls all covered in blood. She had only taken her rubber gloves off. And she held my hand and said, look, there's not much hope. I've done certain things, but in 3 days' time, you're going to have to make a difficult decision. And I was distraught, obviously.
Yes. I can only imagine.
And they said, do I want a priest? Well, I'm not a Roman Catholic, but I was brought up as a Christian. And the Anglican priest couldn't get out of bed. And the Roman Catholic priest was there in 4 minutes. And I said, well, I'm not a Roman Catholic. And he said, well, there's only one God. And he was a young man from the subcontinent of India. And I was absolutely beyond myself, totally distraught. And he kept saying, and I said, what do I do? And he said, entrust in God. And I said, yes, but what do I do? Being a very practical person. He just said, entrust in God. Do you entrust in God? And I said, yes. Then he put his hand on my head like that and said some words very softly in Latin. And I suddenly felt as if I was wrapped in a gold woolen blanket.
Really?
Totally at peace. And he said, would I like Carly to be given absolution? Even though she's not a Catholic, she could be given absolution. And I could still communicate with her, even though she was out mentally. But he said, I know you can communicate with her. He said, but she needs to agree that she'd like absolution. So he gave her absolution, and then she was visibly at peace. Anyway, so then I was told, well, I can't see Carly again till the next afternoon because they had so much to do, or, putting her on all the gadgets. And in the basement of the hospital was a Roman Catholic chapel. So I went down there. No one else came in the whole hours I was there. And I just it was the reaffirmation of expressing love and asking for Carly to be returned to me. And then and that went on for hours. It taught me one lesson. It's not what you say when you pray. It's what you feel. And with healing I do now, I say words so people know what I'm doing. Then they say, yes, but the pain has gone. Before you stop talking, I said, yes, because God heard what's in my heart, not what I said.
Right.
And prayer, so you can't be thinking of the shopping list when you read a prayer or something like that. You actually have to feel it. And everything has to be felt.
That's a good point. I mean, a lot of us in life go through our life going through the motions and not actually feeling what we're supposed to feel. And I think that's a great point.
And that's what I tell so many people. You have to feel it with your heart. And